Alright, time for another DraftPhysics.com, DebatePhysics.com also. Video presentation. Some more stupid arguments have shown up, so I guess we'll just deal with them. But I mean, they're just so stupid, and these people wonder why I've lost all interest in interacting with these, whatever, these opposers of mine. Because everything they say and everything they do is nonsensical crap. I mean, frankly, they just can't make a reasonable counter argument. So anyway, this Leska kook emailed me. Stumbled upon what Newton Colliery 4 says about common center of mass, okay, of two colliding objects. And what he says is just the standard point, that you have to conserve the momentum. So in what way does this demonstrate how it in any way disagrees with anything I'm arguing? There's just no way to make this into a counter argument. Okay, so this is quoting Newton. So let's understand. I guess I should just put it on the front page here also, right? As one of the quotes, I'll just quote Newton, okay? I mean, twice the force, twice the velocity. 3 times the force, 3 times the velocity. It's clear what Newton believed. So they keep trying to force Newton to believe in Leibniz's theory when he didn't. He opposed it. It's not his physics. It's just, why do they keep doing this? All right. The common center of gravity of two or more bodies does not alter its state of motion or rest by the actions of the bodies among themselves. So what do you think that means? What I'm saying it means is he's basically just writing a conservation law. Okay, that's all he's saying. He's saying whatever exists in a system, it stays in the system. If it has no way of getting out and there's no way for anything new to come in, all that can happen is the momentum can change who has it, but you can't change how much of it there is. Okay. And therefore, the common center of gravity, that is the amount of stuff, is the same. You can't change how much stuff is there, and the fact that you move the stuff in some proportion can't change how much total gravity you've got. All right. Of all bodies acting upon each other, excluding outward actions and impediments, is either at rest or moves uniformly in a right line. So he's just saying that the system can be moving or the system can be stationary, and it just doesn't matter because the system is essentially a point source. The system itself can't be anything more than the collection of the objects. And it doesn't matter where you move the objects, it's always the same total amount of mass and motion. So I don't see where, how the fuck do you make this into an argument against what I'm saying? So he says this refutes your physics completely. It does no such thing in any way whatsoever. And he says here, direction matters when conserving momentum. No, that's not what he says. That's where in there does Newton say you can bang a light thing into a heavy thing and make more momentum in the same direction? Oh, that's right. He didn't say that anywhere in here. You can put 100 in and you can get 200 out. Where does this say that? Oh, that's right. It doesn't say that at all. You're an idiot. Okay. Direction matters when conserving momentum. So just absolute nonsense. Of course, direction always matters. And it's a fact that when something explodes, it explodes this way, and it explodes that way, and it explodes that way, and it explodes that way. And the explosion itself, okay, as total energy, if that's what you want to call it, you can say it cancels, but obviously well, wait a minute, it doesn't really cancel. The fact is that if I put some explosive in a pipe bomb, for example, it'll blow the pipe bomb to bits. There's not no energy. Because the energy is going in all directions doesn't mean there's no energy. Newton didn't say that. All right, anyway. Then he's stupid enough to to read this other stuff completely wrong. By the way, Newton and Leibniz agreed on what happens in collisions. They disagreed on the metaphysical reason. So that's just a lie. They didn't agree, so that's just a lie. So you're not going to show me that quote. for why it happens. They agreed on what was the quantity of motion. Leibniz wouldn't have made a point of emphasizing he disagrees with Descartes when he wrote his paper. He's pointing out how I disagree with Descartes. It's mv squared. Why would he say that if he agreed with him? Okay. What happens behind the curtain, so to speak. So you just made that shit up. So that's just totally uninteresting. Your made-up commentary about the truth. Okay. There's also an interesting quote by Descartes, letter to Huygens. So he doesn't understand anything. I mean, he's really fucking so goddamn stupid. So Descartes says, lifting 100 pounds 1 foot. Now, he doesn't say at what speed you lift it at, right? So obviously he's talking about lifting it at the same speed. He's not saying you lift one thing at 500 miles an hour and you lift the other thing at 10 miles an hour. You take 10 seconds to lift one thing, you take 40 seconds to lift the other thing. So he's talking about lifting at exactly the same speed, a constant velocity. Okay, so lifting 100 pounds 1 foot twice over, that is, you lift it and then put it down, and then you lift it and put it down, right, or let it go, is the same as lifting 200 pounds 1 foot. So obviously it's the same. Obviously lifting 100 pounds and putting it on a scale, and then lifting 100 pounds and putting it on a scale would be exactly the same as me just lifting one 200-pound weight and putting it on the scale. So obviously it's the same. All right. And then he says, or 100 pounds 2 feet. Now, it doesn't mean launching 100 pounds 2 feet. It doesn't mean dropping it from 2 feet. It means lifting it at a constant velocity 2 feet. And obviously that would be the same. Lifting 100 pounds 1 foot and then lifting 100 pounds 1 foot at the same speed would be the same as lifting 200 pounds 1 foot. Obviously the same. So again, fuck you, you're an idiot. Descartes wasn't a Leibnizian. Liar, 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 motherfucking liar. Yeah, liar, liar, liar. So fuck you, idiot. I mean, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep trying? Descartes, okay, in the 1720s, made it clear that there was this disagreement between Leibniz and Descartes and Newton. Clearly, there was a disagreement, and she was resolving the disagreement by siding with Leibniz against Newton, for fuck's sake. So you're going to say she was full of shit? I mean, she obviously was full of shit, but the point is, she was recognizing there was a real disagreement, okay? There wasn't some fake disagreement. There was a real disagreement. Why are you weasels, you disgusting weasels, trying to slander Descartes and slander Newton and slander Galileo into believing something they didn't believe in? They didn't use it. They didn't in any way find it at all functional to believe in squared velocity. It wasn't part of their understanding of what made the universe go. And it's just a lie to sit there and say they used it somewhere or they believed it somewhere or it has something to do with their physics. It had nothing to do with how they understood the fucking universe to work. And you're just pathetic little weasels to sit there and lie, this canard, that somehow they really were Leibnizians when they really the fuck weren't. Oh, I just hate you liars. God. Such a fucking assholes. Alright. So in other news, alright, some asshole leaves this fucktarded comment. Well, first this idiot says, let's see, neutrons aren't made of protons and electrons. Fuck you, they are. Okay, look at the data dwag. Whatever that means. Yeah, so they're saying there's also an anti-neutrino that pops out. Now, I'm obviously saying there's no fucking such thing as an anti-neutrino, and there's no such fucking thing as even an neutrino. And so, fuck you, horseshit. Okay, a massless particle pops out. Well, who cares about massless particles, retard? Fuck you. All right, anyway, why do you use fascist as an insult? You yourself speak of punishing liars. So just why aren't you clear? So point out to me the fascists whose only agenda was to punish liars. Show me that, you idiot. Okay, what fascists are is like the Inquisition. That's fascism. Fascism is when you declare dogmatically what a truth is and you can't back it up, and you kill people for disbelieving in you. Okay, that's fascism. Fascism is intolerant to disagreement about things that are disagreeable. Okay, and that is all fascists were doing. So bullshit. If that's all they were doing, I would call myself a fascist. But obviously all the fascists of history were shitty at it. Just like I wouldn't call myself a communist, because all the communists were assholes. I mean, they did it so badly. All right. Let's see. That's why I say that I'm a fairness firster, or I say I'm for what's the economics one I use? Something economics. What the hell was the term I used? But I'm for like a meritocracy. I'm for people getting what they deserve. There you go. I'm a deservatist. Okay, just play devil's advocate. Fuck you in the ass. I mean, who needs devil's advocate nonsense? You either stand, take a position, make an argument, but fuck you playing whatever this is. All right, if you are, you have to make the argument for the morons because they can't make one, so you're going to try to make one for them, and you're going to do it badly? So what does that prove? Oh, I guess, that doesn't prove anything. Look, a devil's advocate made a shitty argument. Oh, okay. Well, I can't blame the assholes for that, can I? The assholes are believers. I can't really blame them because you did a bad job of making their argument. Anyway, if you are standing by a merry-go-round and spin it, there is a point where you can't spin it faster because the effort to move your hand faster to give the machine more speed matches the speed it's already going. Yeah, that's right. You can only move your hand so fast. So these arguments have already been made, of course, but I mean the speed of gravity is the speed of light. So it's really stupid to say gravity gets tired or gravity can't move its arm fast enough to push anything. It's so ludicrously stupid. But the fact is, I do in fact argue that if you could actually move a particle like an electron, 95% the speed of light, that it does in fact get harder and harder for the force to apply force, that the force gets weaker and weaker the faster the thing is going, because the relative difference in speed is going to start getting to be tinier and tinier. So less and fewer particles are going to hit the object, and fewer particles are going to impose their force on the object. So it will in fact become harder and harder to push, and that's why there is a limit to how fast matter can move, because the force is going the fastest speed you can go, and the heavy matter can never reach that speed, because it can never be pushed by enough force to overcome the fact that it's degrading the force. I mean, fuck you. The only way you could imagine accelerating it higher would to come to some kind of gear mechanism like the one that has a transmission in a car. Yeah, and all of those gears are completely mechanically sound in the sense that the momentum is conserved if they're ideal, like a lever, or any of these other mechanisms. And they can't create energy, they can only convert the energy. So yes, they allow you to convert a slow motion into a fast motion. So yes, you could push the merry-go-round faster. So what's your argument? Oh, that's right, you don't have one. You would still have to provide more effort for each unit of acceleration. Well, no, you wouldn't. The whole point is that you would be able to accelerate it faster and faster. They have devices for this very purpose, okay, where you can accelerate something much faster. You squeeze slowly and the thing spins faster and faster and faster and faster, because every time you're squeezing, there's gear work, it's going faster and faster. Is that a good example? An example of what? A bad argument? Okay, wait, okay. Well, gear mechanism like the one in the transmission of a car, would you still have to provide more effort for each unit of acceleration? So each unit of acceleration always is going to cost an amount of effort, but there's no more effort. It's the same amount of effort. You can make a machine where you do the same pumping action and the thing goes faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay, is that a good example? No. I'm sure one could have a frame argument about it. Okay, and yeah, and obviously I'm totally uninterested about frame arguments. That's why I've reduced the argument to a spinning object. Because the fact is, spinning objects debunk relativity. They make relativity irrelevant. You can't use a relativity argument when you're causing a mechanical rotation. You can't make arguments about the fuel because the fuel isn't rotating. The fuel isn't moving with the object you're moving. So if you don't have your fuel moving, then you can't make some silly relativity argument or some rocket equation bullshit or any other bullshit. So keep the fuel separate from the object you're moving, and yeah, the argument gets a lot easier. All right, frame argument about, but you don't believe that. Yeah, that's right, I don't. Would a fair example be a rocket accelerating the ride? What the hell is that? I don't even know what that means, the ride. There, one might be able to make an argument that F equals ma. So again, you want to keep saying this shit. This concept of acceleration is not a negative. It's not wrong. F equals ma isn't a misstatement until you square that a. Until you say the magic words per second and say that it's ma squared. That's the fucking part that's irrational. Acceleration is just a change in velocity. It comes in the same units that velocity does, 30 miles per hour or 30 meters per second, per 1 second, not seconds squared. So as long as you get rid of your second squared crap, I don't even care if you use this little fucking a thing here. But the a thing is where they decided to stick the square thing in. All right, but the rocket itself had to be accelerated. The fuel has to be accelerated before it could be utilized at the higher speed. Again, that's why I'm saying let's use an example where the fuel isn't moving. So use an example where you've got a tube that goes into the rocket, all right, and the fuel tank stays stationary, and then the rocket moves. Some example where you stop playing this magical game that because the fuel is moving, you've changed something, and you haven't. All right, when the remaining fuel is expended to accelerate it further, the fuel itself already had higher velocity and thus more energy. So again, if you're going as fast as the stuff you're shooting out, you can't go any faster. So the simple truth is, if I took a gun, all right, with an infinite number of bullets, whatever, a lot of bullets, and I just fired the gun out the back of the rocket, bang, 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 right? There's a point, as just a practical matter, okay, where this ability to create an explosion and cause motion is defeated because the fact is you're going as fast as the bullet in a direction, and all the bullet can do is stand still. So all you can do is make the bullet stand still. So they do this example with a basketball and a cannon, right? You shoot the basketball out the back of a truck, and you shoot it at the same velocity the truck's moving. And what does the basketball do? It just falls to the ground, right? It's got zero energy because you're basically only accomplishing, the fact of taking away the energy you've given it. So there's a point where if my gun's moving fast enough, the bullet just falls straight out of the gun, right? I mean, you can understand, okay, I moved the gun fast enough, the bullet just falls out. Doesn't go anywhere. So what? Anyway, some other asshole just did this boring thing. It's very exciting that you're bored. I'm just so interested in your boredom. Oh, fuck. These people are just so vomit-worthy. I wish I could dissolve them with vomit. It'd be so much better if we were actual still bugs. So we could actually melt each other with blobs of acid. I'd find that so much more worthwhile. yeah, just make life so much more fun. All right, anyway. Fuck you, assholes. There, that's enough of that. I'll pause and see if there's some other crap. I did post some more comments on my talk page at Wikipedia, but we'll see if there's anything worth reading there. I did hit pause. Right. Well, it looks like the last guy who made a comment, he deleted his comment. Yeah, probably not watching the videos anymore, and that's probably okay. It just doesn't matter. I just give you a fair warning. I have no patience. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and these people keep making the same fucking arguments over and over and over. And, it's, I'm way past sick of it. And it's all based on these incredibly false premises that and the very fact that there's absolutely zero evidence. I mean, there's just no experiment. All these little rickety air carty things, little tiny, fractional experiments, but they won't do anything in the real world. There's no crash test. There's no let's collect the heat. There's just nothing proving this nonsensical theory. Like I said, just simple experiments that physics has never done, Put a weight on a scale and then turn the scale and see how fast the weight moves. I mean, they can't even do those experiments quantitatively, like with precise instrumentality to get the real truth. Even the ballistic pendulum, not to put a thermometer on it, just to see how much energy is being dissipated into heat. Nothing. I mean, so this argument shouldn't even be taking place because physics should already have this evidence. And so it's like the Eddington experiment, it's like the two-slit experiment. All of it is just storytelling. There's just no facts. There's no evidence. It's just stories. And I'm sick of having to keep saying that and keep having people tell me I have to believe crap for which they can provide no physical, visual evidence. I'm just so sick of it. Anyway, till the next time and such.